Hey, buddy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Path of Exile 2, and we're going to be checking out the patch notes. Now I know tons of creators have already done full live streams reading all the patch notes, which takes hours and hours and hours, and they're dissecting them. So I thought for this video I would take a different approach, and we're going to focus on minions specifically. People keep asking me what are my thoughts on it. We played 282 hours of Minion Infernalist. We literally went minion by minion and tried to make build guides for them all, slowly getting better, slowly fine-tuning our skills. So I thought for this video, we could literally talk about minions specifically. Now what you see on the screen is a fully juiced tier 15 map, and this is my skeleton sniper build. So I thought we could talk about changes while you actually see the gameplay for Skeleton Sniper. Again, we're going to talk very specifically about minions. Now, as you can see, I am using Flame Wall for this build. And the first nerf we're going to talk about to minions is Flame Wall. Now, this is what's going on. Flame Wall now causes projectiles which pass through the wall to deal 33 to 48 added fire damage at gem level 20, previously 64 to 91. While at gem level 1, values are unchanged, more significant reductions have been made past level 20. So basically, those snipers shooting their arrows through the flame wall are now going to do less added damage. I know this was kind of a fan favorite. A lot of people expected this nerf to happen, and it happened. Moving on to nerf number 2 for the build that you are currently looking at, and I am using double pain offerings for this skeleton sniper build. So what have they done to pain offerings? Listen to this. Pain offerings aura now grants minions 28 to 58% increased damage at level 5 to 20, rather than 29 to 44% more damage. The aura also grants minions 22 to 58 increased attacking cast speed at level 5 to 20, previously 30% at all levels. Now, when you look at this, a lot of people would say, oh, it's a bigger number, so it's better. No, they moved it from multiplicative damage to just additive damage. So pain offering also on this build got a big nerf. And we continue. Moving on to Raging Spirits. Now, as you can see, every single time I make a flame wall, I make 5 Raging Spirits. Well, listen to this. Raging Spirits now has a spirit duration of 5 seconds, previously 4. So 1 extra second, and a maximum of 2 spirits summoned per cast, previously 5. So previously, you had to cast 2 flame walls to basically get 10 spirits. Now you have to cast it 5 times to maintain it, which is absolutely crazy. You're gonna have to be spamming it like nuts just to keep your Raging Spirits up. That is nerf number 3. This is just this one build we are talking about. Moving on to Skeleton Snipers. The Poison Cloud, this is the active ability for Skeleton Snipers, now gains 20% more radius per second up to 80%, previously 40% up to 200%. They knocked off about 120% of the actual Skeleton Sniper's arrow. It shoots into the air for Poison Cloud. Skeleton Snipers, big nerf. Let's continue with the patch notes. Curses. So curses used to activate at 1 second, and now they're activating at 1.5 seconds. Not a huge deal, but they are reeling in all the curses and making them a lot worse. Now for this build, I am using multiple curses, and we are using flammability. Flammability now curses enemies and have 25% fire resistance at gem level 7, previously 32. Nerf, scaling up from negative 29 at level 20, previously 37%. All curses across the board universally nerfed. Not good. We continue. This is one, I'm just talking specifically about the build you see on the screen. When you are directing your minions and you want them to attack certain people, they now have a 0.5 second cooldown. So you got to direct them, and then you got to wait. And then you direct them, and then you got to wait. I don't know why they made this change. Was somebody doing Something funny with the way they were directing minions? I don't understand. Another, I guess, kind of nerf or readjustment for minions. We continue. Now, minions in general, and this is for all minion builds. Listen to this. Adjusted minion damage and life scaling. General damage and life is the same early game, but lower than before at high levels, especially past gem level 20. Now, one thing great about minion builds is once you got those gem levels up to 22, 23, 24, 25, when you started stacking them higher and higher, your minions grew in power exponentially. There was huge buffs, though. They've actually inversed that, and now the higher it goes, you have the less returning results, which is absolutely ridiculous. So just for the build that you see on screen right now, not an overly insane build. This is just, we're talking about Flame Wall nerfed, Pain Offering nerfed, Raging Spirits nerfed, Poison Cloud on Skeleton Snipers nerfed, both curses nerfed, directing minions half a second, and overall survivability and general damage for the minions nerfed. So now let's switch gears and talk about gear for a second. And again, we're not doing a full patch notes on minions. I really just want to use the example of my current build I am playing. I'll link the patch notes in the description. Now, looking at gear, the main item I want to look at is Scepter. The Scepter is the main quintessential minion powerhouse, and GGG has decided to make a few changes. Now, one, you will see that this Scepter I am using has +5 to level to all minion skills. Unfortunately, that is getting reeled in, and the highest you can now get is +4. So they're chopping 1 level off of that. And that's, you know, that sucks, but it's not crazy. Now, one thing about quality on your Scepters is it gives you spirit. GGG is saying that that is actually a bug. And when you quality up your Scepters, it is not supposed to boost the spirit on it, which just totally sucks. So that bug has been fixed. So now when you quality up your Scepter, you are no longer going to actually get more spirit. What it's going to do is it's going to boost, example on here, grant skill level 18 discipline. So that quality is actually going to boost my level 18 discipline, and it's not going to give any spirit. Huge blow for minions. Now, if you thought we were done with the nerfs to this build, you would be incorrect. We are moving on to the passive tree. I'm not going to talk about every individual node. I'm just going to talk about some of the big ones for our skeleton snipers. Now, we are stacking mana. And the first node we're going to talk about is a mana blessing. It's actually a node you get very early on. Gives you 5% increased maximum mana. That is gone. They're replacing it with 20% mana regen. So 5% max mana. Bye. Moving up here to the node raw mana. This gives you 12% increased maximum mana. This is dropping to 8. So we are now at -9% maximum mana. If you look at Eldritch Battery, this will still work, but what it's going to do is it's going to double your mana cost on all skills, literally across the entire board, all of your builds. So we have now lost 9% of our maximum mana, and all our skills cost twice as much. And again, there is a lot of changes to some of these other little ones, but we're not going to get into all that. If you come down here into the actual Infernalist Ascendancy, one of the first things you get is your Loyal Hellhound. By your side, absorbing 20% of the damage from you. That is also gone. So this node right here, 20% of damage from hits is taken from your Hellhound's life before you. That is just getting deleted and gone. You'll probably still take this skill because it doesn't cost any spirit, so it's just a free minion, but you're not going to put your best supports into it because it doesn't do a whole lot. That was literally the entire purpose of your Hellhound, was to help keep you alive and give you some DR. That is also gone. So 9% maximum mana, 20% DR, and double all your mana cost is coming to your minion build on your passive tree. So overall, what are my thoughts on the patch notes? Now, I have played 282 hours of Path of Exile, and I know that's not a ton, but when it first came out, we literally played it for a month straight, testing all the different minion builds. And obviously, minions got gutted from these patch notes, but obviously, everything got gutted. So what is my overall take on it? And I'm going to guess a lot of people are not going to like this opinion. Now, for me, if I had to make a choice, do I want a slower action RPG or do I want a faster action RPG? This is simply my opinion. I would like the game to be a little faster over slower. Okay, that's my design philosophy. Obviously, I am not making Path of Exile 2, and I don't work for Grinding Gear Games. And I got to tell them, they are in early access. If there is any time they want to drop a grenade, or I guess in this case a nuke, into the meta and change up the game based upon their design philosophy, this would be the time. They want the game to be slower. They want that progression. They want parry. They want block. They're bringing a lot of different things you normally don't see into action RPGs into the game, and they want that slow meta progression. They say it over and over again. You know, if there's 100 things broken, after this, hopefully there's 50 things broken, and then 20 things, and then 10. And they're just going to continuously update it and change it until we get closer to game launch based upon their vision. So the question to you is very simple. Based upon all these changes and based upon all these patch notes and everything you've read and heard probably from other creators, are you happy with that vision? Are you going to go on the ride with GGG and you kind of like this slower parry block gameplay? Or do you want to just blast? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Of course, only if you think I've earned it. Check out the Discord, over 4,600 members. It's the best place to hang out. We do a game giveaway every 2 weeks, movie night, game night, all the subathon shenanigans. We cover all things action RPG, and we're going to have a sign up very soon for the 9th treasure hunt event for Last Epoch Season 2. Last but not least, don't forget to check out actionrpg.com, my brand new launched website. It works on mobile and your browser. We have up-to-date news. We got an event calendar. We have multiple creators coming on. 37 Last Epoch build guides are done. We're currently in the design phase for Path of Exile 2, so don't forget to check out actionrpg.com. I'm done. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron.